Happy full moon in Leo, beautiful souls. This is Shamama Hunting Owl, and I am here with share a message. Just here to chat with you guys today on this full moon in Leo, depending on where you are in the world. I had my fire ceremony last night. As you guys, most of you know, I burn a fire and on every full moon and every new moon, or almost every, I try to when weather permits and when my energy permits, and I do a little intention ritual ceremony with myself and a couple people that choose to come and join me, of my friends and my family. And it was a crazy fucking night last night. Those of you who are on my Patreon know that the messages there have been talking about the winds of change. Those of you who are not on my Patreon, I definitely recommend that you subscribe over there. I share lots of messages about what's going on, things that I don't share here, more personal things also, about the journeys, about just everything that's going on. So the information about the Patreon is in the box below, and I'm not going to get too much into what I talked about on Patreon, but last night's full moon experience and my fire ceremony was definitely channeling in the energy that the cards and the messages have been giving. And I'm going to say that the winds last night were wild as fuck. And the cycling of the wind as it was, it would blow crazy for a few minutes and get real loud and loud and rustling, and then it would get totally quiet and calm, and then it would start stirring up again. And I really feel like this is indicative of the messages we've been channeling. We know that there are some tremendous changes coming in right now for us, and to be determined, I don't fucking know. None of us really know what is going to happen. But what I do know is there are going to be lots of unexpected twists and turns coming up. Lots of surprises, good or bad. That depends on how you perceive them. But yeah, so I just, I always try to remind people to, stay in the present. Stay where, in the perspective of just dealing with things as they come up. Don't start to think ahead too far. Don't, try to get too ahead of yourself. Don't overthink things. Right now, it's just really important to take things at face value and move on from there accordingly. Always remembering to stay in your vibration of happiness and love. So if there is something in your current circumstance that is creating angst, anxiety, frustration, sadness, taking away from your happiness, then you really, really need to take the time to sit down and reflect on what is going on in your experience and why these things are coming up for you at this time. That internal reflection work. And, there's another piece of this that's so important. There are many of you who have done that internal reflection work and have seen, have been told by spirit, you have been given the messages of how you would best proceed in your situations. And many of you are still just not wanting to recognize or listen to the advice that you are receiving from spirit or from the universe because you're scared, because you are living in fears and doubts that the universe will not support you. And in doing so, in not honoring yourself through self-love and supporting yourself to receive and do what is in your best interest to make you feel good and well and healthy, you are creating a karmic imbalance for yourself. So when we purposefully disregard what our soul is telling us, what those messages are that we're not happy, and we know what we need to do for our highest, greatest good, and we still continue to ignore it, that creates a dissonance in our soul, in our vessel, and in our energy. And that dissonance creates discomfort, disease, stress, all sorts of toxic fucking energies. And I know we have all worked too fucking hard to get to where we are now, to completely ignore the truths that we have been trying actively and diligently, persevering to build, to come into alignment with. So I really want to encourage you, if you're finding yourself in this kind of a place where there is this dissonance in the way you've been trying to live and working toward being, in the way you're finding your life and your environment right now, take the heat, take the warning, like listen to what is going on and face your fears. Face your fears before the universe comes in and pulls the rug out from under you. Because we know that when we don't do what's in our highest, greatest good, when we don't follow our best path for ourselves, the universe comes in and gives us a rude awakening. Whether it's a smack in the head, whether it's a tragedy, whether it is a traumatic event, whether it is always some fucking wake-up call that is meant to shake your world. So I just want you guys to remember that as we move forward through these energies, as we're being forced to face things and changes in our environments, in our personal lives, in our global world. You know, we're all here with different purposes and missions. Some of us are here just to expand and heal ourselves, you know, and add that light to the world. Other of us are here as divine warriors to globally get out there and kick ass and break down the systems. Other of us are gentle healers who are not the warriors that go out there screaming and yelling on the front line, but they're the behind the scenes people. We are all here and we all serve a great purpose in this fucking world. All of our parts play together. And if one of us isn't stepping up into our wholeness, into our fullness, we are breaking that chain. And it's time for us to rebuild the chain. So we continue to expand and grow and heal and love and help each other. So that's enough of that, I think. I wanted to share some stuff with you guys about what's been going on. And I swear to you, I know Mercury retrograde is over and Venus retrograde is over, and we officially have no planets in retrograde, I believe, until I think it's the end of April. I think we are clear till sometime in April with retrograde energy. So it is a time now where we have been sitting in reflection to move forward, to begin to take the action that the universe has guided us to take, not with necessarily force, but with gentle, fluid motion, just moving through what we're guided to move through. We don't have to power through it like a fucking machine. We can gently and lovingly move through that energy, because when we're aligned with that energy, the universe will actually move us at the pace that we need to move. The universe will decide when it's time to speed up and slow down for us, and will support us in that energy if we allow ourselves to listen and feel. So for me, the last few weeks have still been rather insane. I have had some of the craziest experiences with with masculine and with men. I'm going to just say men because they're not all divine masculine. Some of them carry feminine energy. So I'm going to say with men in my experience. And, you know, I'm pretty much a hermit. I know a lot of people. I say I have a lot of acquaintances. I don't have a lot of really close people in my inner circle. But in my outer rings, you know, like they kind of like ripple out. So I have like my super tight inner circle, and then I have another ring around me that's a little bit looser circle, and then I have a wider ring. You know, we all do, I think. And these people who have been sort of in, I want to say in sort of my acquaintance, maybe I know them a little more than an acquaintance. So like people who I know on Facebook, let's say, that I don't know in the real world, in my physical world, those people, and they have my phone number. So let's say Facebook friends that know me on a personal level, but I don't interact with on a daily basis or anything like that. So I've had the weirdest experience with these type of men as of late, interacting with me in very, very strange ways. And so I have this one male person who, I mean, I was considering in the beginning was a friend and began to ghost, and it was just very weird. And so I kind of just disconnected completely from him back in October, I guess. This guy, and he was nice, and there was nothing weird about, I mean, he was weird, like everybody's weird, right? But our interactions were pretty pleasant and nothing really off, but they were sort of kind of routine. Like the messages became just sort of stagnant, and the energy wasn't moving anywhere in developing our friendship. And I kind of just felt like, all right, whatever. I'm just kind of gonna let this kind of sit wherever it is and just leave it there. Like I wasn't feeling an equal investment in energy from this person. And I kind of just felt like, you know what, whatever. I'm not giving to where I'm not being given back to, and whatever. So I kind of let that all fall, and this person messaged me like in December with like just a very random impersonal sort of happy holidays message, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm not really interested. It was a very weird message and very impersonal. And then I got another message about a month later, so like sometime in January, at like late at night from this person. It was a text message, and it was just like a fucking song. And now, mind you, I hadn't spoken to this person in October when they had ghosted me, and I didn't respond to this weird Christmas message, and you get this fucking song, and it's this, and this is the thing, like, I don't know this person in my physical world. Like, we've never really had any, like, real life interactions. We talked a few times on the phone. And what was weird about this person, too, is when we did talk, we discovered that we had a not similar, when we were younger, in high school, younger than high school even, we ran in the same crowds with the same people in the same areas and never knew each other. And it was just for a short time, but like our timelines lined up that we were in the same areas at the same time, hanging out in like the same places with overlapping people. And it was kind of crazy. And I kind of actually thought that was really kind of cool when we first talked and met talked and started interacting on Facebook and through texting. Anyway, long story short, so I get this message from this person, right? And I think this was in January. It may not have even been in January. It may have actually been like right around the beginning of February. I don't know. Time is not real. Anyway, and I get this just no message, like just a fucking link to a song on YouTube. And the song is a Spanish song. It's Hispanic words. And the video has the lyrics in English on the screen. And this is a love song. a Spanish love song. And it talks about betrayal and how I long to kiss you and hold you. And it's very, very weird. Beautiful fucking song. But getting this song so fucking random in the universe from this person was just like, what in the fuck? And I literally sent him back a message and was like, question mark, question mark, question mark. Like, did you mean to send this to me? Like, I don't get it. And he was like, he answered back in Spanish and said, see? And I was like, the fuck is going on? And then I went like, how high are you? I mean, I know this guy like gets high and uses plant medicine and frog medicine and shit like that on a frequent basis, or, you know, whatever. And so I'm thinking like, he's just got to be fucking high. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I haven't talked to this man since October or even acknowledged him since then. And he's sending me this song, and it's just so random and weird. And as we know, nothing is random in the universe. Everything happens for a reason. And honestly, I was kind of like annoyed. I gotta be honest. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what do you want? Like, why? What? Like, I don't get this. And it kind of did piss me off. And, you know, his response was, it's just a really cool song. It's got lots of energy and fire in it. And I'm like, okay, great. So, like, I'm like, okay, well, thanks, later, whatever. The next day, it was still, like, irritating me. And I messaged this guy, and I'm like, look, I don't understand what the fuck is going on, but this is not how I roll. Like, if you're a friend and you're in my life, then be my friend and be in my life and act like a fucking normal human being. Normal. Ha ha ha, I say normal. But act like a decent human being. Like, it doesn't, like, communicate like a fucking human. Like, I don't get it. And this is a man who is spiritual, who, like I said, has engaged and knows lots about medicine and higher consciousness and all of these things. And I was really just taken aback by all of this. And so I called him up and I'm like, dude, like, you know, and I called him. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not texting. Like, communicating through texting is fucking childish. And I've got something to say and I need to say it. And I called him up and I'm like, dude, like, I don't get this. Like, look, if you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're out. But I'm not looking for a fucking pen pal or a fly-by-night, like, you're high and you think about me and you fucking send me a song. Like, that's just not my vibe and it's not my thing. And I really don't care to continue to engage like this. So, you know what? If you want to be my friend, be my fucking friend and act like, you know, communicate and be a fucking person. And and that was the other thing. So I also, back in October, when this guy ghosted me and stuff, and I was like, whatever, like, I don't need this in my world. I unfriended him on Facebook. He had deactivated his Facebook account, but like, and we were still friends in a deactivated state. But I said, you know what? I don't even want that energetic tie or connection anymore. So I unfriended him. And anyway, so after I had this conversation with him, and I basically just spoke my piece and said, look, you decide what role you want to play in my life, but I got no time and no room for this shit. So, you know, pick a side, and I'm cool either way. And so, like, and then he sent me a friend request on Facebook that day, and it seemed like, okay, I accepted it. And he started just nicely messaging, like, we were having just nice civil conversation. It was seeming friendly and whatever. And anyway, so I have this weird, and again, he's gone silent and weird and, you know, is behaving, just doing weird things on social media. Like I had posted a photo of myself, I don't know, like a week ago. And he liked it that night. And then, like, 2 days later, decided to comment on it. It's like, what the fuck? Like, just weird, strange shit, okay? And again, I don't know why, what. I just know that, like, I don't want to be someone's distraction or someone's side thought. of when they're bored or high or have nothing better to do. Like, fuck that, man. I don't want or have time for that shit. And I have decided, and I am continuing to disengage and withdraw my energy from this and people like that. And so this was one experience. Next experience was, and many of you guys who listened to, I think it was the last audio I might have done, I shared that I ran into my ex from 9 or 10 years ago. Well, motherfucking lo and behold, do you know, I ran into him again last week. Same place, my grocery store, my brand new beautiful grocery store that I was so excited to discover and start going to. And I ran into him again. Overtime shift. He wasn't supposed to be working there. It was a Monday morning. The firefighters are never in the grocery store at 10:30 in the morning. Like, it's rare. They go at lunchtime. Like, anyway, it's ridiculous and it's stupid. And there he was again, lo and behold, 2 weeks after I had seen him the first time. And again, second run-in after 9 or 10 years. No fucking seeming rhyme or reason to it. Very weird and awkward. Again, why? What was the purpose of that? Nothing came out of it that I know of. I mean, again, who knows? Maybe something will. Maybe it was an experience he needed to have. I don't know. Very weird. Another experience. Many of you know I am a Second Amendment concealed weapons gun carrying advocates. And I love and support guns. I love guns. I support smart, safe use. Anyway, I follow this guy who on Instagram who is cool, and he's a gun trainer, and he teaches safety courses for women and people and ex-cop, whatever. And we would message each other, just liking each other's shit on Instagram. Weren't friends. He reached out one day, asked me when I was going to go train with him at his facility, and I jokingly asked him, well, when are you going to come and do some healing with me? And we started talking, and lo and behold, again, like, sexualizing everything, sending me and again, there's this energy that I have discovered in some of these people that I interact with, that I'm supposed to be interacting not because I'm supposed to be friends with, but because I realize that they're drawn to me or come to me for higher purpose, healing purposes. And this was one of those situations where I started just chatting with this guy, and he started sending me like pictures of himself. Like, I know what he looks like. I never asked for a photo. And every time he would send me a message, he would send me a photo of himself. And I felt like he was really like screaming out for attention and wanting to be praised. And I was just not having it. I didn't like the energy that was attached to it. And every time he did it, instead of giving him what he was looking for, praise, attention, whatever, I was kind of like joking and making like sarcastic comments about, like, he kept sending me pictures from in the bathroom, right? From the bathroom mirror. And I kept asking like things like, well, I hope you washed your hands, or did you wash your hands before or after you took the bathroom picture? Things like that, just being a real smartass, because like this wasn't what I was here for. And I wasn't like engaging in that. And at one point, we talked about the healing thing, and he shared a lot of stuff about his traumas that he's had, and they were pretty fucking significant. He has a lot of PTSD. He was ex-military, ex-cop, ex-MMA fighter. Got let go from the police department for some inappropriate behaviors with females. So there was a lot of red flags immediately. And again, like, I knew, like, once I started talking to this guy and I looked into what was happening, the red flags were there. it was obvious that this person was in need of healing his wounds, and I offered him those services. And lo and behold, as much as he admitted and agreed that he was in need of help and wanted that help, he kept skirting around, being able to do it. First, he said his days off were Thursdays, and he would love to get together with me and talk about this stuff and meet me. And I'm totally down with that, as a friend or as a client, right? However, in doing so, I'm not dumb. I'm a wise old owl. And I am also very aware of my safety and, that women can be victimized in this world at times. So I don't make decisions and do stupid things. And he said, well, how about you come over to my place Thursday night at like 8 o'clock at night? And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, dude, again, big red flag. Like, you train people to be safe from predators, and you're inviting me to your home when I don't know you in an evening? Like, fuck that, dude, sorry. Anyway, so I said no. I said that will not be happening. I said I'd be more than happy to meet you in public during the day or morning hours for tea, coffee. We could talk and I can discuss what I do and, whatever, and see if I can support you. And he's like, oh, yeah, true, right, yeah, okay. And then he says, oh, well, I think Thursday I might have a meeting during the day. I said, okay, well, you let me know. And then Wednesday went by. Wednesday went by, Thursday went by. And lo and behold, I don't hear from him till 6 o'clock at night. And he messages me and, oh, sorry, was having was it the next day? No, he messaged me Thursday and said, hey, how's it going? And I knew at 6 o'clock at night I was not messaging him back. Like, you didn't respond. You didn't let me know. Sorry, buddy. I don't play this game. I'll message you when I have time now. And so I messaged him the next day. And he messaged me again the next morning. And I didn't respond until later. And I said, hey, what's up? And he said, sorry, I didn't get back to you. I was having a really bad day mentally on Thursday. And I said, well, I'm really sorry to hear that. That would have been a really great day for us to connect then, because being that I'm a healer and that's what I do, you being in a difficult emotional place would be a good place to start with doing the healing work. And then he said, well, it's not just that. I don't have the money right now. And lo and behold, so of course I addressed that issue too, because he and I had already spoken. I had given him a very discounted rate on my services, and also told him that we could take out an exchange. He didn't have to give me money, that we could trade services if he wanted my services and couldn't afford it. So I gave him every opportunity, and all he was doing was making one excuse after another, because he really didn't. I mean, face it, he wasn't really looking to come to me for healing. He was looking for either someone to attempt to take advantage of again, or to soothe his aching wounds of his own hurts and traumas. But I wasn't going to be that person. And lo and behold, since that day, which was, I don't know, last week sometime, I think. Was it last week? I think so. My days and weeks are so confused, guys. I have not heard, not a peep, not a word from him since. And I don't intend to, because, again, these people, I feel like I'm being tested all over the place from the universe to stay in my integrity and to really assert my boundaries and keep people out of my energy who are not here for the right reasons. So lo and behold, again, another incidence of this happened yesterday. there's this person that I'm friends with on Facebook, again, acquaintance, doesn't live in the state. We've shared some funny memes, some mild pleasantries. Again, I am all love and light. I share my love and my kindness to everyone. It doesn't mean that I am interested in you. It doesn't mean I want to fuck you. It doesn't mean I am sexually attracted to you, because I share my love and light and I am kind to people. However, this man, who has been nothing but respectful in all the time that I have known him on Facebook and shared whatever messages with him, last night the fucking werewolves must have come out with that full moon, because he sent me messages that were so out of line, I was floored. And sent me a photo of him in the bathtub. And again, no, like I couldn't see anything, but from his like mid-thigh down to his feet, but it was still, and writing things like he wants me and he's a naturalist and a nudist and he hopes it's okay that he's sending me these pictures and he wants to devour me. And I just, yeah. Wow. All because I was nice to someone. All because I just had kind words to say to someone. I want to just say, and I messaged him back, and I wasn't mean, but I said, look, please, you are definitely mistaking my kindness and loving heart for something completely different, and I have no interest in that, and please don't ever do that again. And all I got back was, I'm sorry, and that was it. Again, I don't know what in the fuck is going on. I mean, I do know what's going on, actually, but it's just really fucked up and crazy. So I come back to the fact that the masculine energies are going fucking batshit crazy right now. All the devils, all the darkness, all their low vibration shit is just bubbling up to the surface, oozing out so it can be released and healed. At the same time, it is allowing me the opportunity in these experiences to rise in myself, to be the better, bigger, non-reactive, healthy, healed soul that I am, and not and it's taken a lot for me to not want to reprimand, emasculate these men for being fucking children. I feel like that Pele Kali energy of wanting to punish them for being so fucking disrespectful to the feminine, for not seeing us for our worth and our value and our hearts, but seeing us for something so trivial, anyway. But instead, I rose, channeled that energy into truly wishing these people compassion for their pain and hoping that they find peace in their souls for this unhealthy, wounded behavior that they are oozing out onto society, onto people. Yeah, you guys, it has been fucking wild. I also met another person yesterday, another person who I've been friends with with acquaintances on Facebook with for, I don't know, maybe a year, I don't know. And I've seen his posts, and again, seems like a very nice person. And I knew, actually, that it was really interesting with this person, because when I first started seeing his posts about a year ago, I kind of knew we were going to connect at some point, but didn't really know when. And again, never really communicated ever, I don't think, on Facebook through Messenger or anything, but liked a post or hearted it, whatever. Maybe commented on a post here or there once or twice ever. Yesterday, he ended up commenting on a bunch of my stuff, messaged me directly, and we had the most interesting and powerful 4.5 hours, yes, 4.5 hours, communication, talking through Messenger on the phone, like speaking 4.5 hours. And it was a lovely, beautiful conversation. Although this man is in turmoil in his life, and definitely has been magnetized to me because of the work that I do and my ability to help facilitate for people to heal themselves, because I work as a healing facilitator. I and no one can heal you. We can just bring the medicine to you. The work is up to you. You know that. And so this man, but he was also coming to me as just a very sweet man who was interested in me as a friend, as a human being, and yes, maybe potentially as something further in the future, but was not oozing and hitting on me and displaying what I consider toxic or unhealthy masculine flexing with me. He was able to be very vulnerable and share very personal things, and I did too. 4.5 hours we talked, and that conversation flew by. We were engaged, we were interactive. It was beautiful. And he is aware that he needs healing and wants help and also wants a friendship. And I love that. And it's an equal, there was a definite equal reciprocity in the whole interaction, and it was really beautiful. And so where will that lead? I have no idea. Will I ever hear from him again? Who the fuck knows? I have these very powerful experience with people in my life. People tend to come in and out of my life very quickly, with a lot of intensity and force. And as quickly as they come in, sometimes it's as quickly as they go out. And I don't know if I'll hear from him again, or if he is truly committed to his healing journey at this stage. We all take little pieces, and we, sit with it, we reflect with it. Sometimes we need to take days, weeks, whatever. I am pretty sure that he and I will have further interactions, but if we don't, I hold no attachment to that. And so these are the things that are going on in my world right now, you guys. As far as my twin flame journey is concerned, I can tell you there's a significant amount of mirroring going on with the fact that my counterpart and I are both in very heavy creation mode. Building. The question that will remain to be seen is, are we building on individual solid foundations, or are we still building on karmic bullshit? I do believe that my foundation that I am expanding on currently, and the projects that I am working on are in my highest, greatest good, and are fully supported by Spirit and the universe at this time. His, I don't know about. And it's not really my concern, is it? Because his journey is his own at this point in time. But I will say that everything in the fifth dimension is very, very different energetically right now in my connection with my divine counterpart than it is on the 3D world, in that realm. There is great disparity and disconnect on the physical plane. However, like I said, we are mirroring each other very much so, as far as being in a full-on active creation mode. Other than that, I have no idea what's going on. And as difficult as that is at times, it also helps me be free and allow me to do the things that I need to do for myself, so I can continue in my healing and on my journey, because I really, right now, I have no idea where my path is taking me. It is very, very unclear, and I'm okay with that. I'm very much okay with that, because in the end, I know my truth, and I know who I am and what I came here to do. I know my identity as a true, and I'm saying true in air quotes, twin flame, seraphim, angel, divine being. One of the original 144 souls that were created at the beginning of time. Okay? I know my truth, and I know what I am here for. And just even saying and speaking those words, that I know my truth, and I know that I am a divine angelic being, and what I am here to do and what I am here to experience, that empowers me. That makes my wings unfurl and brings my, literally, it makes me feel so strong and powerful. Not better than anyone, but powerful in me. And that gives me the strength and the perseverance I need to continue moving forward. Because on days like today, where the moon is intense and the energy is heavy, and I feel like I am hung over, literally, on the density of the energies, and can barely get out of my own way today, I am still full of love, and I am still know that I am here to do great and wonderful things and experience the highest levels of love in my life. And you are too. And that's why I'm here, sharing all of these silly stories and ridiculous bullshit that goes on in my world with you guys, because it's through my experiences that I hope that you can find some resonance, something that you can connect to, something that you can relate to, that you can reflect back into your own experiences, and that will help guide you on your journeys. So you guys, I am going to wrap this up. I love you all. I hope you all have a most magical and amazing full moon, and we will talk again very soon, you guys. I love you. Have a beautiful day, and thanks for being here.